Hi guys, so I'm here to do my Shadowhunters episode 8 discussion video. I have my notes down here, so if I'm looking off, I'm looking at my notes. So the episode started off with them talking about the Mortal Cup and where they should keep it to keep Valentine from getting the cup, and they end up putting it in the Institute. Alec ends up kind of helping her, and he said, "Don't mistake this as friendship," which that's like, typical Alec, and I love him. And then Raphael brings Simon back and says that he's a fledgling, and he tells Clary that she has the option to either stake him in the heart or bury him and see if he re-emerges from the grave and becomes a vampire. So she's given those two options, and she doesn't really know how to deal with that or anything. And I think Catherine McNamara is really good at doing the emotional scenes. I feel for her in those scenes, and I feel like her acting is getting margins better as the season goes on, which I love. And then Maris and Robert tell Alec and Izzy that an envoy is coming to monitor the Institute, and because of all of the unauthorized missions that they went on. And then we get a scene of Valentine, and he's talking to Jocelyn, who's kind of laying it there. And I absolutely love Alan Van Sprang. He was in Reign as King Henry, and I think he's an incredible actor, and I love him so much. And yeah, I cannot wait to just see more and more of Valentine, because like I said, he's an incredible actor. And then we get this guy coming in and telling Valentine that Clary has the cup, and that she made it back to the Institute. And then Lydia Branwell shows up at the Institute. She shows up as Valentine, and I guess it's like some sort of weird disguise rune or something. And she walks in into Valentine, and then Alex shoots an arrow at her, and she grabs a hold of it, and then she turns back into herself, which I thought that was pretty cool. And she said that reaction time was abysmal. So yeah, I could already tell from that Lydia was going to be pretty hard on them. And then there's an attack on the werewolf pack by Forsaken, and it's not really shown a whole lot of everything that happens, but it just shows a Forsaken coming, and then Luke transforming into a werewolf and going through the door. And then it cuts to Clary and Jace. Jace is glamored, and they are talking to Simon's mom, and because Simon's mom is very worried about him, obviously, because he hasn't been returning calls and he hasn't gotten in touch, and she's really worried something might have happened to him. And Clary considers telling her that Simon is not coming back, but she ends up not doing that. And then gets to Lydia taking charge on the werewolf attack, and she takes Alec with her, and they go and investigate the attack. And then it cuts back to Clary and Jace, and they're in Simon's room, and Clary's kind of rooting through it. And then Jace ends up telling Clary the story of the falcon, which is just like in the book. And I love that story from the book, and I'm glad that they put it in the show. I wish it would have happened more like it happened in the book, but that's okay. I really, like I said, I love that they put that story in there. I'm loving that they're including things from the book. And then Lydia, as they're walking to investigate, as Lydia and Alec are walking to investigate the werewolf attack, they are talking, and Lydia ends up telling Alec about she followed her heart and fell in love with a guy named John, and they got married, and he ended up, I think she said, dying. And so yeah, she tells him a little bit of her backstory there. And then Lydia kind of inadvertently tells Alec that his parents were part of the circle, and he did not know that. And she was talking like, you need to protect Hodge because he was an ex-circle member, and she said, yeah, and your parents. And he was so confused and kind of angry about that. He didn't really want to hear it, especially from her. And then they are doing kind of like an autopsy type. They're going to do like kind of like an autopsy type thing on the Forsaken, and they start talking about Magnus, and then they kind of go back and forth about how it shouldn't have been Lydia that he heard that his parents are part of the circle from. It should have been his parents that told him. And he says that them being in the circle is unforgivable. Them being in the circle is unforgivable. Which, I mean, yeah. I would not be happy if my parents are part of something bad, but as long as they turn their life around, I think that's good. And then Claire and Jace go see Luke, and they start talking about Simon and kind of what to do. Clary's at a loss there, and when they're talking, we get a flashback of young Luke and Jocelyn after Valentine kind of pushed Luke into that werewolf and he got attacked. So we get that flashback, which I don't really like the flashbacks on the show, if I'm being honest. I think they would be a lot better if they used the original actors playing them instead of just casting younger actors. They could have made the actors look younger and just use the same ones. But, yeah, let me know what you think of the flashbacks down below. And then Magnus comes, and they're doing kind of Magnus and Izzy are doing the autopsy on the Forsaken, and they start talking about Alec, and I think it's really cute that he's asking about Alec. And then we go back to Luke and Clary, and Luke tells her if she brings Simon back to do it for him, not for herself. And then Clary ends up deciding to bring him back, which I think is obviously the right thing to do. And then we get a shirtless Alec scene. I literally wrote in capital letters, shirtless Alec, and he's training. And I'm very, very happy that we didn't get into that like crazy, weird, fast motion fighting thing, that the effects that they do. It was just like a normal training session. I don't know what this is, but anyway, we get like a normal thing. And then Magnus comes in and gives Alec the findings, and he said they're supposed to go to the head of the clave. Alex said they're supposed to go to the head of the clave, and Magnus said, well, they are. And he tells Alec to follow his heart, and and Alec said, "I can't believe I'm saying this, but you're right." That scene's on YouTube, actually, and I've seen that several times, even before tonight's episode. But yes, I love that scene. Anything with Malik, I absolutely love. They are the scenes that I'm anxiously awaiting every episode. And then Jace, Clary, and Raphael take Simon to the graveyard, and Camille shows up, and she wants Simon back, and she brings her kind of army of followers of vampires, and then Clary ends up punching Camille, which I absolutely love. I think that was pretty funny. And then Camille ends up going away after that, and then goes to Lydia. She says the Clave wants to take over the Institute, and I don't like that they're going with the storyline. I really particularly don't like that they're bringing Lydia in. Like, who is she? Who does she think she is? I don't like the storyline with her very much. And then it goes to Clary and Jace, and they're beginning to bury Simon. They're going through with it. And then we had a scene of Alec and Lydia talking. And then Alec proposes to Lydia. I wrote, WTF? Like, why? I don't like that they're doing that. I'm so mad at that, I can't even talk. But yeah, I really don't like that they're doing that. I wish that they would just leave Lydia out of this and never have brought her in. And I wish that they wouldn't have gone in this direction. I swear, sometimes I can write television shows better than writers can write the television shows. That's just like a stupid thing. That's my least favorite part of this episode. My least favorite part of the season, I think. I can rant about their decision that they made there forever. I don't like that. And then we get Jace and Clary talking a little bit. And then Simon emerges from the grave, and we get Vampire Simon, which I wrote in all capital letters. I love that we finally get Vampire Simon. I've been waiting forever for this. And I absolutely love Alberto's acting. He's so good. He definitely portrays Simon to a T. And yes, I love his acting that entire scene when he emerges. And then we just get a small scene of Izzy in the lab. And then we get to Hodge's training, and then the Forsaken comes in and attacks him. And we do get some weird kind of slow motion effects in there, but it's not too bad. It's something that I can easily ignore and look over. But then Alec comes in and shoots a couple arrows at the Forsaken. And the Forsaken ends up hitting him, and Izzy comes in after that, and then we're back to the Vampire Simon scene, and Clary ends up explaining to him that he died and that he's a vampire, and he's not very happy about that. And basically it ends with him running away, and then Raphael says, "I'll look after Simon," and runs after him. And so that is the episode, and my thoughts are, I really enjoyed it. I think it's getting better every season, but like I said in my little mini rant, I hate that they had Alec propose to Lydia. I thought that was just dumb. And I love that we had Vampire Simon finally, and I cannot wait till next week where we see how Simon is dealing with being a vampire and everything. And yeah, that is all for my discussion of Shadowhunters episode 8. Let me know down below what you thought of it, and yeah, that is it for this video. See you next time. Bye!